Episode 2, Mirror, Mirror on the Wall. Hi, and welcome to the Moonchild podcast show. This is the second episode in English, and I'm so excited to be recording this for you. I hope you can hear me well, because I'm in the car, and everybody else is recording in the car, but every time I do it, the sound really, it's really bad. So I'm going to try it one more time to see if it works out for me too, because it's an excellent place to be recording episodes, I must say. So here we go, Mirror, Mirror on the Wall. And this episode and the Moonchild podcast show is for you if you want to feel abundant in life, if you want to feel abundant in love, and if you want to rock your life and your marriage. Because a lot of people like me have come from a place of lack, from a place of, victimhood, or at least that life overcomes you, right? That life can be a struggle. And this podcast is for everybody who is sick and tired of the struggle and wants to live life fully and embrace the moment that we're in, and embrace this life and really live the best life you can. So that means that this podcast is not for you if you want to keep yourself stuck in stuckness and stuck in the old way of thinking that you're struggling through life without, being able to do something about it. And by that, I don't mean that you can control everything, because I think that when you really let life flow, that you release control instead of trying to control everything, because that's what we do when we're in a place of lack. When we feel like everything is overcoming us, and when we feel that there's not enough to go around, we start controlling things, right? We start controlling the way our kids dress in the morning. We start controlling our calendars. We start controlling, life, really. And the beauty of living an abundant life is to surrender. To surrender and let go of control and go with the flow, really. And today I want to speak about what happened since my last episode a week ago, which was all about abundance. And for me, abundance has played a role in my life for some years now, and I always struggled to really feel it. I mean, for me, for a long time, it was a conceptual thing, right? That I wanted to live in abundance, but I still felt lack on so many levels. And what happens when you feel that is that it's shown to you. And that's where the mirror comes in, because everything we have in our lives right now, at this moment, so right now, think about what you're seeing in your life, what you see happening on a financial level, on a love level, on energy level, on work level, at home. Everything is a reflection of how we see ourselves, really. And for me, the fact that I couldn't feel abundant, even though I wanted it so badly, was what I saw in the mirror. I saw this lady that was tired and that was still struggling and fighting life, wanting something different, but she couldn't really feel it. And last week I really switched it. And of course I don't know for how long it'll last, right? Because I still need to work on it and I still need to practice. But the funny thing is that since I have pulled the switch again on feeling abundant and making joy my highest priority in life, I see so many reflections in my life that show me that I'm on the right track. Because I pulled the switch last week and I started working on some areas in life. Because like I said last week in the last episode, and if you haven't listened to it, then do listen to that. Pause it now here and do listen to episode 1. Feeling abundant, you can only reach that when you have the 3 levels incorporated. When you feel abundant on a spiritual level, when you practice that on a daily basis, and when you embody it too, and when you have it on the mindset level. Now for me, mindset level was something that I done that for a long time. I've been practicing abundance. I've been practicing, that mindset. I've been reading books. I've been doing all the mind stuff. And the spiritual practice, I've been meditating for a long time, so I've been doing that too. But the embodiment was still missing. And when you miss that, then you miss it all. Then you won't feel abundant. So what I did last week was I started to do things that make me really feel abundant. And that also reflect back in the mirror, feeling abundance. And I'll make that concrete for you. My bedroom was a mess for a long time, and every time the clothes were put in that were from from the laundry that were put by, we have a nanny and she does the laundry, so the clothes were put on my desk in the bedroom, and they would be there for like 2, 3, 4 days, piling up, and my cupboards were a mess too. And even though I tried to keep it as neat as possible, it would never work out because there was clutter everywhere, really, on the shelves, on my bedstand, on anything. And when you have clutter around you, that's what you see in the mirror, right? When you have clutter in your head, you have clutter around you. And when you see clutter around you, so I do invite you to look around where you are right now. Does it feel abundant when you look around, or does it feel cluttered? And clutter is like one form of lack, right? It's the opposite of feeling abundant. When you have a cluttered house, you have a cluttered head, and you want to be clear and open-minded for feeling abundant. So last week I said to myself, I really want this to end now. I want to clean up my house so that there's no clutter anymore, and I want to feel abundant when I look around, and it doesn't mean buying stuff. For me, it meant cleaning up and throwing stuff out. And it's so nice to look around in a house where you go like, oh yeah, this is my place, right? And it feels abundant. So last week I started cleaning out stuff. And what do you know? Every since then, people are smiling at me in the street more than they normally do. And I get these little talks in the street, where people start saying something to me in a friendly way, like in a fun way, like just connecting in small ways, or smiling at me in the street, or just, and I didn't change anything, right? I didn't change my hair. I didn't, do anything different. Besides, I'm feeling joy. And when you feel joy because your house is uncluttered, or at least the bedroom, when I've done the kids' rooms too, then you radiate that out. And that is what I mean with the mirror. When it's going fine inside, you can see it on the outside. And the opposite is true too. When the outside looks radiant, like decluttered and fresh, then you feel decluttered and fresh inside. So, and that's only on like a distant level, right? Because what even reflects back more is how people react to you, how your direct loved ones react to you, how the neighbor reacts to you, or the people in the shops, how they come across. And of course there's their mood swings or whatever as well, and they might not feeling well for that day. But if you feel abundant inside, you can feel some empathy for that, right? And when you're grumpy or irritated or in a low energy vibe, then you go like, oh, this guy's really grumpy today. And actually it's a reflection of you. Because when you come across like that, then people will respond differently to you. So today my question for you is, what do you see when you look around in your house at your loved ones? Do they smile at you, or do they have this frown on their faces all the time, or do they react irritated, or do they react with empathy to you? Like yesterday, I had to take out my wisdom tooth, and it was the first tooth that I ever took out. And I'm 42 years old, so there I was, being 42, the first tooth or molar actually taken out, and I thought I'd see this as an experiment, right? Can I still feel abundant when my wisdom tooth is taken out and it's leaving a big hole, and I'll probably have a headache because I always get headaches when something is off in my life. I'll probably get a big headache, and can I still feel abundant and go through it with ease and grace? That was my question yesterday, and so I did. So I sat out in the hospital in a waiting room, and all the people were were looking either sad, tired, or grumpy, really, or just, well, not grumpy, but not happy. Besides one lady and me. And that one lady, I was so amazed by her. I couldn't stop looking at her because she was there in the waiting room. She was elderly. She was like, it's hard to predict her age, but I'd say at least 75, maybe 80. And she dressed up. She dressed up to go to the how's it called? We call it a jaw surgeon. I don't know, where they take out the teeth. It's not a dentist. I don't know the word in English. We say kaakshieter. Anyway, she dressed up. She had like her high heels on and a pantyhose and a nice skirt, and she put on her makeup, and she was sitting there in the waiting room, and she was smiling at everybody, cracking jokes with the assistants. And I was like, this is abundance, right? When you have to go when you have to go to a dentist where they take your tooth out and you're still smiling and radiating energy, and you go like, oh yeah, well, we'll just go through this and see what happens, And I was the same. I was reading my book of Gabby Bernstein, which is called Super Attractor, which is all about feeling abundant and attracting the good stuff in life. And I was reading that, and I had a smile on my face, and I was just looking around and see what energy was in the room, and I felt like a light bulb in that room, and she was too, and I could feel it, and it was so amazing to see, and it felt so abundant, even at that age, when she was just radiating out energy and walking up straight, and she was all about that. And oh my gosh, it was an amazing experience. So I was there in the dentist chair, right, or in the surgeon's chair, and he was taking out the tooth, and it was smelling like a hospital smells, and it was cracking, and my tooth came out, and I was like, I'm okay. I'm not resisting, and I tried to really feel the feelings that I had. So I felt a little bit of fear. But most thing, because obviously you go like, oh, is it gonna hurt? Is it gonna be bad? Something like that. So I had I tasted a little bit of fear inside, and then I also felt like enthusiasm on this experiment that I was going through. Right? Am I allowing myself to feel the feelings and still feel abundant and make the best of the rest of the day? So I really listened to myself, and I felt like, what am I going to do today that makes me feel abundant? And the answer was simple. I spent the afternoon with my kids, and I took a little nap because obviously I had a pretty big headache and I felt like someone hit me in the face, right? Someone punched me in the face and gave me like a big punch, on the cheek, and it hurted, but it was doable. So I took the most out of the day, and I felt really good about it, and I went to sleep early, and I can honestly say that I was thankful for this experience because it made me realize that I was looking in the mirror and I saw still, energy radiating outside of me, and making the best out of it, and really listening to my emotions. I was feeling a little bit scared, and that was okay, right? I allowed myself to feel a little scared. And I also allowed myself to be gentle for myself that day. And I must say that felt really good, and it felt really abundant. And I gave the kids some attention. I cooked them dinner, which I normally don't do on Mondays because I'm always working. And it felt really good. It felt really nice to be there with them, cooking dinner and to just enjoy them in the living room. So I made a good thing out of something nasty, and it radiated out to me too, because all day long everybody was so nice to me. Everybody's really friendly, trying to help out, and yeah, I really want to encourage you to look around, and I hope this story inspires you to actually go look around and notice what you see in the mirror. And I don't mean the actual mirror, I mean the reflection of your environment, of your house, of your office, of the people around you, and how they reflect back what you put into it. And for me, decluttering was one big thing, and also the experiment of feeling abundant when something painful is going to happen to you, and how it made me feel. And it actually made it a really powerful experience. So I hope I inspired you today on the second episode of the Moonchild podcast. Sorry. And I hope you can follow me, because it really helps to grow my community. When you follow me on Apple Music, or when you follow me on iTunes, YouTube, you can also find me on Facebook and Instagram. It's Maris Coaching. And give me thumbs up if you like this episode, because I would love to record more, but I really enjoy having feedback on how you feel about it. So thanks for listening. Thank you for your precious time. And I'll be speaking to you soon on the next episode or on YouTube. And I'll see you soon. Bye, guys. Bye.